If you guys are interested in learning how to make some laminated cardstock bookmarks where you can have a front design and a back design with your business logo like this, stay tuned. So the first thing you want to do when you're in Canva is I'm going to go to document portrait, or you can make your canvas whatever size that you want to make it. Then you're going to go over here to elements. And then you can either type in frame here, or since I've typed it before, you can just go to frames. Select this one, that's a square. Then you're going to size it to the size that you want. So in this video, we're going to size it to a 6x2. Okay, and then you're just going to line it up so that it's centered here. I'm going to move it up a little bit. I'm going to try to put at least 4 bookmarks on this page. So it's 6x2, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy and paste it 3 more times with the appropriate spacing. So you see here, it lines it up for you so that they're exactly the same distance apart. So it looks like I can put at least one more on here, maybe. So let me see real quick. Yep, okay. So I was able to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this page. Okay, so then you're just gonna go over here to elements again. And in this case, if you already have some designs you want to put in here, fine. But I just want to show you guys real quick how you can do the front of the bookmarks and the back of the bookmarks so you can print them at the same time. So we're just going to go over here and just use some elements from Canva. So I'm going to put in heart and background. So you guys can put in whatever background you want. So you can use this like as a way to practice. So I'm just going to go over here to graphics, see all. And I'm going to pick some of these because I like these. So I'm going to go with this one. And I'm going to turn it so the top of the bookmark is facing to the left. And I'm just going to move it until it goes in there. And if I like how it looks, fine. If I want to adjust it, all you have to do is double click it. And then you can adjust it to be how you want. So I'm going to do a couple more designs. So in this case, I'm just going to put a tiger background. So I typed in tiger background, and you can pick like a pattern, or you can look at the different designs that they have. So this one looks cool. So I'm going to put this in. I'm going to turn it again to its 90 degrees. And then I'm going to place it in here. And then I'm going to move it until it looks how I like it. Maybe not this one because I don't like the white background. So if you have one that you don't like, you can just right click it and do detach image, and then you can delete it out. I think I'm going to stick with this one. All right, so I'm going to go out of this. All right, so I'm going to come back over here, and what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this page. And then what you want to do is you want to get another background piece so that you could put your logo in the back. If you want to just put this design on front and back, then you would just leave it like this, and then you can print it out, and that way you would know that the front and back are the same. So actually I'll leave some of these the same on here, and then I'll put a logo on some other ones. So for example, you will go over here to elements, clear out your search, and you could type in square, or you can select this square. I'm gonna go to shapes, and I'm gonna get this square here. And then I am going to overlap it so that it's 2x6 again. But I want it to be in the same exact area as the front of the bookmark. You can copy, or you can do duplicate. And then you'll do the same thing, just put this right on top, and it should line up since you know that they're all 0.115 based on mine. I'm going to duplicate it again. And so I'm going to change this to white. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm looking at. I can see like a little bit of the color peeking through, so I'm just trying to make sure that it's covered. So I'm just adjusting it slightly. Just make sure you cover up all the color. All right, so that looks good. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take the background and I'm gonna change this to a different color. So I'm gonna change it to black. So that way you can see the outline of your bookmark. And that's if you want the back of your bookmark to be white. So if you want it to be a different color, just make sure you change it to whatever color you want it to be. All right, so then I'm gonna go over here to get my, so I have my logo, and I am going to face my logo this way. And I'm just gonna put it here towards the bottom. It's gonna make it go just as light. And then I'm gonna duplicate it, and then I'm just gonna line it up, center and with the other bookmark so they're all in the same place. So then what you want to do is turn your background back white, and then you'll have everything the way that you want it to be. So in this case, you see how this design is, I should say the logo is going this way. So the logo is facing with the top towards the right. This is just based off of how my printer prints, so make sure you guys test this out first before you print out a bunch of stuff. Make sure whatever printer you're using and the settings work for your computer. However, lining it up like this should make sure that your front and back of your bookmark will be aligned correctly. So the next thing that we're going to do is go over here to share, and you're going to download. You're going to change this file type to PDF print. I leave all the settings like this because it works best for my printer. I do not change this color profile because the color profile for my printer works perfect with this setting. I'm going to go to download. All right, so next we're going to get into what type of paper, our cardstock that I use, the printer that I use, and the lamination pouches that I use as well. All right, so I have 2 types of cardstock on hand right now. I will link down in the description some recommendations on top of the ones I actually use. So I have this one. It's called the Nina cardstock. And this was purchased off of Amazon. This one I purchased from, I believe it was either Hobby Lobby or Michael's or Joann's. Never mind. I purchased it from Joann's, as you can see here. And both of these are supposed to be either 65 pounds for this one. And then this one says it's supposed to be 110 pounds. But they feel kind of similar to me. So I would just say try to get a cardstock that's a little heavier of a weight if you don't use the ones that I'm recommending. For the laminate pouches, I have some that came with my laminator. And then I also have some I purchased from Walmart, these Pen and Gear, and they're just 3 mil. And then this is my laminator that I purchased off of Amazon. And this is both a cold and a hot or heated laminator. So you could do thermal lamination or cold lamination. And it has 2 different heating settings on it. And it came with a bunch of stuff. I don't have it all in here, but I'll link this down in the description as well. All right, so let's get into the printing settings. So I'm going to open up the file that I downloaded. All right, so once you have your file open, then I'm going to go to my printer. All right, so I have an Epson ET EcoTank 2803. I'll show you guys it once I set up the paper. So what I use for my settings, and this is for a MacBook, so it might look a little bit different for your computer. But for what my settings are, I go over here to, I don't know, for some reason it scales it differently. So I want to make sure it's the scale that I want. So I'm going to change this to 100. So that's the first thing I do. Then I'm going to go over here to range. Selection. I only wanted to print the first page. So then I can print the second page on the back. So I'm going to make sure it's only going to print the front page. So if you have more than one front page, then make sure you print out all your front pages. I'm going to do 1 copy. I'm going to go down here to printer options, and for the color matching, what works best for mine is having it on color sync and not this default one. For the printer features, I do for media type premium presentation matte paper, print quality as quality, mode as Adobe RGB. Then I scroll all the way down here. I make sure the color matching is set as well here for color sync matching. Media type, make sure it's set to the same thing, premium presentation matte paper. And then for resolution, make sure it's set to the highest resolution. So for me, it's this 720 by 720 DPI. Then you're going to hit OK, and then you're going to hit print. All right, so here's my Eco Tank. I have it in the black version. I have the paper loaded from the top. And what you want to do, it's kind of bright, so I'm trying to get you guys so you can see this. So what you want to do is on your printer, you want to make sure you have the correct paper type setting in. So you're going to go to paper type and you're going to make sure it says premium matte. So it matches what you put in for your settings on your computer, okay? So I'm just going to push OK, just making sure you guys see that part before I push print. All right, so while the bookmarks are printed out, I just wanted to show you guys, I've turned on my laminator, and so I push this button and then I push this one once so that it can be on this. So I push this button and then I push this once so that it's on this 80. Let's see if you can see it. Okay. So then you wait for that to stop blinking, and then we can put in the pouches so we can laminate it. Okay, so you can see they print it out of the printer in this direction like this. So remember on Canva how the tops of my bookmarks were facing this way? So I just wanted to show you guys that. So then when I want to do the back, I'm literally just going to flip it like this, okay? And put it into the printer like this. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go here to File, Print. And in this case, I only want to do the second page. So again, just make sure all your settings are correct. I'm going to put last use setting. And I always double check just to make sure that the settings are set correctly, because sometimes they change. Okay, so it's fine, and then I'm just going to hit print. So while that one's printing, I just wanted to show you guys a few that I'm making for my business right now. So this is what it looks like laminated. I have those and this one. All right, so let me go check on the ones that we just made in this video, and then we'll continue the process. All right, so they're fresh off of the printer, so let me show you guys. So you see that they're perfectly lined up. Let's see if we can put it through the light. It's kind of dark, but I don't know if you guys can see the faintness of the background here, but you can see they're lined up. But then you'll also see that they're lined up once we cut them out. All right, so grab your laminating pouch, and then you're just gonna put this inside. I'm gonna try not to block the camera here. All right, so I'm just gonna put that inside. Like so. And then I'm just going to put it through this laminator. So I'm putting it through the laminator now. All right, so once it's done, it should look like this. They're very shiny. You got the backs. And like for this case, you remember how I was telling you I had these face in a certain way. So if you want your bookmarks to face the same way as the opposite side or the front side, then you just have to flip your design in Canva, because as you can see on this way, they're kind of like upside down, but it doesn't really matter, because if you're using one side of the bookmark, you're not going to see both at the same time. All right, so let's go to the trimmer. All right, so I have my paper trimmer here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim out the bookmarks here. All right, so here's one. I'll cut out the rest and I'll show you guys the end product, but I just wanted to show you so you can see you have your front and your back with your business logo. All right, the last thing you can do if you don't want the sharp corners, you can just use a corner rounder. So let me grab that real quick. All right, so then you can just get your little corner rounder. And then you have cute little bookmark that you can personalize for your business or for a customer. I wanted to come back and show you guys real quick. If you guys don't have a paper trimmer, you can also use scissors too. You just got to be very careful of cutting it out. But if you practice, you surely can. So then, bookmark, got the back and the front, and same thing. And there you go. You can also cut them out by hand with some scissors. All right, so I wanted to show you guys one more time all of the bookmarks cut out between the ones that we did in the video and some I have for my business. Thank you guys for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Take care. Stay blessed.